Hello and welcome. Thank you for listening. My name is Sarah Baumert. I'm a yoga teacher, Feldenkrais practitioner, and host of the Sarah B. Yoga podcast. The Sarah B. Yoga podcast and my practice, Body Matter, is an interdisciplinary learning space where we explore the many ways that movement can help facilitate body acceptance and awareness, reduce pain and stress, regulate the nervous system, and build strength and ease. My teaching plays with the synthesis of Feldenkrais awareness through movement lessons, traditional yoga asana, creative imagery, breathing exercises, self-massage, and a compassionate mindset to help you feel a greater sense of ease and comfort in yourself. Sarah B. Yoga and Body Matter have a lot of other program offerings. These podcasts are just a taste of my teaching. Each week I teach a range of online classes, including a gentle yoga class, a level 2 class for more advanced students, and Feldenkrais classes with monthly themes, anatomy lessons, and Q&A sessions for more in-depth study. I have 2 new online series offerings for the fall. A Feldenkrais series titled Coming to Your Senses, an exploration of the spaces of the eyes, the mouth, jaw, ears, vocal and breathing apparatus. And my second course, Wakeful Body, the blending of yoga and Feldenkrais on Monday nights. As one student recently described Monday nights, that felt like I just gave myself a massage. So these fall classes will be a continuation of some fan favorite stretching sequences that incorporate bolsters and other props to enhance the poses. There is still plenty of time to join these courses live or via the course recordings. You can find more information about these offerings in the show notes. Okay, on to today's episode. Thank you so much for listening.
Hello, welcome to another episode of Sarah's Yoga Podcast. This is a episode that is specifically for anyone who's dealing with lower back pain and lumbar disc herniation or disc bulging. And if you do have any of those conditions, be sure that you are consulting your doctor and making sure that you are ready for a yoga practice. So as we move through the poses, just be sure that you're very present in noticing if there's a sensation that is painful that comes up, always backing off and taking the practice at your pace. We're going to start today on the floor, and just make sure that you have a comfortable space where it's free of distraction, you're feeling safe, feeling calm. We're going to use a few blankets, a block, something that you could use as a strap, if you have a strap, that'll work great, and a chair. So take a moment to just gather those things and feeling ready to start the practice. So we're going to start on our back in a constructive rest position with the knees bent and the soles of the feet to the floor. Just feeling the back of the body resting down, and allow the arms to just reach out to the side for right now, letting the palms face up. If you need a small blanket to lift the head up to support the head, you can do that as well so that you're supporting your neck. Let the eyes close here. Take a moment to notice what's most present for you at this time. It may be something that's been running through your mind throughout the day, or it may be a physical sensation. And allow yourself to feel that very fully, feeling what it is. You may just take a moment to name it. And just knowing that this is what we're starting from. So allowing yourself to notice any sensations, thoughts, or emotions, including those that could be causing you a bit of pain. So these are important to notice as we move through the practice, keeping our awareness on the sensations that arise. And using an approach that we're going to think about staying at about 50 to 60% of our effort zone, balancing effort and ease. So you should be able to breathe smoothly and maintain integrity of the poses while you're there. So take a deep breath in through the nose, let the belly expand. And as you exhale, just releasing any tension through the face, feeling the corners of the eyes relax, and letting the eyes relax down towards the brain, and letting the mind think a little bit less here, starting to sense the body releasing, dropping down into the floor. And noticing how the spine is resting on the floor. So I'm going to talk us through just a visualization of the natural curves of the spine. It's an S curve that we have in the spine. And we want to come back to these natural curves. If our posture throughout the years of different habits has shifted the natural curves of the spine in a direction that can be harmful to us, and we're going to work to find the curves again. So with the eyes closed, just bring your attention all the way down to the base of the spine, your tailbone, and feeling how your tailbone is resting on the floor. And as we're doing this, you don't need to actually move at all. Just taking full breaths, starting to come into your breath. And then with your mind's eye, move up towards the lower back. So you'll feel your sacrum, the diamond-shaped, big bony part of the spine. That's also resting down on the floor. And then up from there into the lumbar spine. Now, many of us have a flattened lumbar curve, and sometimes that can cause a bulging or a herniation of the disc. So you should be able to slip your hand underneath your lower back and feel like there's some space between your lower back and the floor. And if you can't do that, then you know what you're working towards. You're working towards a little bit of a lift there, a nice curve. And take a full breath in, just expand the belly. And feeling a little bit of movement in the spine as you breathe in, and then exhaling, letting the navel start to relax towards the spine. Good. And moving up the spine with our attention to the thoracic spine, the mid and upper back. And you should start to feel that resting on the floor, a nice curved back. And then bringing your attention up to the neck area, the cervical spine. And again, you should be able to take your hand and slip it underneath the neck. And there should be some space between the floor and your neck. And then feeling the head resting on the floor. Good. And even if you don't actually feel those neutral curves, imagine them. Imagine the S curve. Good. Take a full breath in through the nose. Feeling the diaphragm expand. And on exhalation, start to lengthen, gently pushing the air out through the nose and feeling the abdominals tone. A bit of a density moving right around the navel. And deep breath in. Diaphragm expanding like the dome of an umbrella. And as you exhale, Feeling the lower belly engage and the diaphragm lifting and doming up right underneath the ribs. Again, full breath in. And exhaling. Breathing in, you may notice a little bit of a flaring of the ribs. Front and back body expand. And exhaling, pushing the air out. Good. Breathing in, the attention as you breathe in moves to the periphery, creating more space in the body. And exhaling, the attention moves to the center, feeling that small squeeze around the navel. Good. Continue to lengthen your exhalations. Slow, deep breaths help to calm an overactive stress response, leading to muscle relaxation. And with longer exhalations, and with assistance of this small abdominal contraction and the pushing of the air out, more oxygen can then be brought into the body on the next breath. So when you start to feel like you're short of breath, make sure that you focus on your exhalations. Great, so starting to move into a few of the asanas. Now we're going to start with a bit of a hip opener. You're going to take your right ankle and cross it over the left thigh, and then take the hands underneath the left thigh and just draw the legs towards you. As you're doing this, you want to make sure that you don't curl the tailbone up and round in the lower back. So you want to keep the neutral curves of the spine present. Take the right knee and try to reach the right knee away from your right shoulder any amount, feeling the back of the pelvis on the floor. That spine is lengthened. Full breath in through the nose. And exhale. And again, deep breath in. The breath moves all the way to the base of the spine. And exhale. Great. Release your right ankle from your thigh and just grab a hold of the tops of the knees, feeling your thigh bones so they're perpendicular to the floor. And breathe in. Finding neutral curves. Keeping neutral curves, cross your left ankle over the right thigh, and hands come back behind the right thigh. So opening up the hips helps to open up the lower back. So just starting there today. Just feel the left knee move away from the left shoulder. Deep belly breath. And you can do this still with the eyes closed, keeping the attention inward. Good. Exhale, gently release. You're going to take a hold of the knees with each hand and widen the knees. And then take the knees out away from you and draw the knees back together. Take that circle a couple of times. Feeling the movement in the hip joint rather than rounding at the lower back, we want to get the hips open. So sometimes lower back injuries also occur because the hips and the hamstrings are very tight, and so our back does a bit too much work for us. So we're going to just ease the hip joints a little bit, feeling the fluid quality around the hips. Good. So from here, you're going to grab your strap. Hopefully it's nearby. And lengthen your left leg out long. And then take your strap and strap it over the arch of the right foot. You're going to reach the right leg up And keep the right knee bent, grabbing the strap with both hands. Again, maintaining the natural curves of the spine. If you take your right leg too close towards you, you'll feel how your lower back pushes into the floor more, and that's what we want to resist. So we want to keep the natural curves of the low back and find a stretch in the hamstring. If you're not feeling the stretch in the hamstring, then extend out through the right heel a little bit more, pushing the heel up towards the ceiling or towards the strap. And making sure that the arms and the shoulders are relaxed as much as they can. You can just let the weight of the arms release down, collarbones broad. And breathing in. Exhale. Good. Release the weight of the right femur bone down towards your hip. And keep reaching out through the right heel. Good. Full breath in. And exhale, gently release. Let go of the strap and just draw the knee in towards the chest, any amount that's comfortable for the back. And then release the right leg down. And taking your left leg up, loop the strap around the arch of the left foot. Keep your left knee bent so that you can find the neutral curves of the spine. You might try bringing your leg a little bit closer towards you or lengthening the leg. And as you do that, pay special attention to what's happening in your lower back. If the lower back pushes into the floor, you know you've gone too far. So you want to keep that little lift in the lower back. And starting to breathe into the left hamstring, reaching the left heel up towards the strap. Nice, long, slow exhalations. Good. Inhale. And exhale, gently release. Great. So from here, we're going to roll over to one side and carefully bring yourself up to hands and knees. Make sure that the knees are right underneath the hips and hands underneath the shoulders. Spread the fingers wide. Taking a breath in, we're going to move into a cow spine. Let your tailbone tilt up, releasing the belly towards the floor and open through the chest. You can bend your elbows a little bit and feel the arms move back as the sternum extends forward. So this is our inhale position. And on exhalation, you're just going to come to neutral curves. So feel the tailbone reach back, gazing down, extend through the neck, crown of the head moves forward. And again, deep breath in, moving into your cow spine. And exhaling, come to neutral curves. Again, deep breath in. Feel the tailbone lift. And exhale, neutral curves, lower belly softens in towards the spine. And take one more like that, breathing in. And exhale. Great. Coming just to those neutral curves, we're going to wag the tail over to the right. Take a look at it. You'll feel the right side squeeze together and get a small stretch to the left side. And then wag the tail to the left. Take a look at it, looking back. And wag the tail to the right. And wag the tail to the left. Good. Take that one more time each side. Keeping the jaw relaxed. Spreading the fingers. Good. And then come right to neutral. And from here, we're going to lift one arm at a time, breathing in. Ground the right hand into the floor. Inhale, lifting the left arm high. Take the gaze up. Make sure the tailbone stays reaching back. And exhale, plant the left hand down. Yielding left hand into the floor, right arm floats up. Good. Exhale, right hand drops down. Breathe in, extending the left arm high. Make sure you don't lock the right elbow. And exhale, release. Good. Breathe in, right arm reaches high. And allowing the gaze to lift if that's okay for the neck. And exhale. Good. Take a breath in. Just pausing here. Exhale fully. And breathing in, you're going to reach your right leg back, extending through the leg. Let's flex the foot here. And then take your left hand to your lower belly, making sure that the lower belly is engaging, supporting the low back. And then from the navel, reach out through the right leg a little bit more and take your left arm forward, turning your thumb so that it faces up and feeling that rotation coming from the shoulder joint. Extending, full breath in. If there's any pain here, you can take the hand back to the floor or lower the right foot. Full breath in. And exhale, take left hand and right knee to the floor. Good, breathe in, extend your left leg back, flex the foot. No need to lift the leg very high here. The higher you lift it, the more you're going to arch the lower back. So we want to keep it so it's level with the spine or a little lower. And then taking your right arm forward, turning the right thumb so that it faces up. And breathing in, extending from the navel, and breathing out. Deep breath in. And exhale, gently release. Good, taking right hand and left knee to the floor. From here, you're going to come all the way down to your belly. So taking your time, getting to your belly in a comfortable way. And we're going to take the hands so that they are underneath the belly. So you're kind of lifting your belly up a little bit. You can take the forehead to a blanket while you're here so that the neck can stay long and relaxed. We're just going to spend a few breaths here releasing. So this should feel like a release in your lower back. And there's a bit of a lift of the tail. So breathe in and feel the belly and the sides of the waist and back of the waist flood with your breath, expanding, really creating space there. And then exhaling, let the navel lift up away from your hands, away from the floor. And again, deep breath in. Notice how your spine naturally lengthens as you breathe in. And exhale. There's a small compression of the spine. Good. This time as you breathe in, you're going to let your pubic bone lift a little bit. You'll feel your tailbone lift. And exhale, release. So you're just exaggerating that movement of the spine. Again, like that deep breath in. And exhale. Good. Last time, inhaling, letting the tailbone slightly lift, and the pubic bone lift away from your hands, away from the floor. Good. And exhale. And you're going to take your hands out from underneath you and bring the arms out into a cactus shape. The elbows move right out from the shoulders, palms pressing down. Hover your face off the floor, push the palms into the earth, and imagine that you're pulling the floor back. As the floor is moving back, with your hands reaching back, take the crown of the head forward. Just feeling a bit of length coming into the spine. Keep extending your tailbone back. Make sure you don't tuck your tail or squeeze your bum. Curl your tail between the legs. You want the tail to be free, reaching back. Good. Full breath in. Good. Exhale. Just release that. Rest for a moment. You can keep the arms out in this cactus shape. Breathe in. And then exhale. You're going to lift the back of the head and start to lift the hands and the shoulders up off the floor. Hovering. Breathe in. And exhale, gently release. Inhale here. Good. Exhaling. Feel the navel lift. And then lifting shoulders, elbows, hands, and head off the floor. Inhale. And exhale, slowly lower. Good. Breathe in. And one more time like that. Exhale. And gently lifting. Inhale. And slow exhalation back to the floor. Great. Take your hands underneath the forehead and just resting here. And let your tail wag a little bit side to side. And as your tail wags side to side, notice if you're holding any tension in your bum or your lower back. Just really shake that out. Okay, so this belly down work is very good to build tone for the organs and that tone in the abdominals. Okay, from here you're going to take your hands underneath the shoulders. We're coming into a small cobra position. Draw the elbows towards the waist, pushing the hands into the earth and coming up any amount that's comfortable for you. Breathing in. Good. Keep reaching the tail back. And exhale, gently release. Take the hands underneath the forehead again. Take a deep breath in. And exhale, letting the breath out the mouth if that feels good. Alright, we're going to take one more exercise on our belly. If you're feeling like the back is straining or this is too much time on the belly, you can just rest here. You could take your hands underneath the belly how we started. If you'd like to move on, you're going to take your arms forward and take the gaze so that it's down, just lifting the face off the floor, hovering it. Good. Breathe in. And on exhalation, lengthen the left leg, reaching the left leg up and the right arm up. So opposite leg and arm. Continue to extend out from the navel, reaching the left leg out of the hips. And exhale, slowly lower. Right hand and left leg reach back to the floor. Push down with those extremities to lift the opposite. The left arm and right leg lift. Exhale. Breathing in to find length. And breathing out, slowly lower. Good. Strengthening the muscles in the lower back. And exhale, right arm and left leg lift. Breathe in. And exhale, slowly lower. Good. One more time. On exhalation, lifting the right arm and the left leg. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, slowly lower. Great. Walk your hands back. You can come up to hands and knees. You may want to use your forearms, feeling your tailbone reach back and walking the hands up. Okay, from here we're going to move into downward facing dog with bent knees. So you're going to come to hands and knees, spread the fingers, grounding into the thumb mound and the index finger mound, and then tuck the toes, hover the knees. Keep your knees bent and feel your tailbone reach back. Let the tailbone guide you back. Make sure that you don't round in the lower back. And keep the tailbone lifting. Really pushing hands into the earth. Feel a length through the side body. Full breath in. Good, so you're going to keep your knees super bent. Start to walk your feet towards your hands, keeping a long back. And bend the knees, and very slowly coming up to stand with a lengthened spine. Good, so from here, we're going to do downward facing dog at the wall. So down dog on the floor can sometimes be a little bit of strain for the back. So you're going to come to a wall, taking your hands, push the palms into the wall, and you're going to walk your feet back. You're trying to make a 90-degree angle with the body, piking right at the hips. Keep your knees bent and the feet about as wide as the hips. Push the hands into the wall and feel for your arms and your whole torso level with one another. So it should be parallel to the floor. Good. Exhale and bring the lower belly in. Breathing in, lengthen out a little bit more, keeping the knees bent and really sticking the bum back. This should feel like a nice stretch for the shoulders as well. Good. Inhale. And then exhale, keep the knees bent, walk the hands forward, walk your feet forward, come all the way up to stand. Okay, from here you're going to come to stand up at the top of your mat and grab your strap. You're going to open up the shoulders just a bit. So you're going to take your feet out so they're about as wide as your hips. Grabbing the strap, turn your palms so they face forward, and you're going to have the strap so that your hands are maybe 10 inches apart or so that your hands are alongside your body. Palms face forward, then bend your elbows. Notice if your elbows move out to the side. So you're going to draw your elbows together back behind you. Squeezing the elbows together gently. Keep the tailbone releasing down. You want to make sure you don't overarch in the lower back. So continue to take the elbows together. Now you're going to lengthen the arms. So the strap and the hands reach down towards the floor, feeling the opening through the chest and in the shoulders. Good. Let the upper arm bones gently hug towards your midline, and the sternum floats up. You might even start to open through the front of the neck, taking the gaze high. Good. Full breath in. And exhale, gently release. So set the strap aside, coming all the way up to the top of the mat. Bring the feet together so the big toes touch. And just release the arms alongside the body, turning the palms forward. And just feeling here your neutral curves, the lower back, S-curve into the upper back, and cervical spine, and crown of the head lifting. Okay, bring your hands to your hips. And then step the right foot back. We're going to step back into a warrior one stance. So starting out with the yoga practice, you might make your stance a little bit shorter. As you get stronger in the back, you can take the feet farther away from one another. Keeping your hands on your hips, you're going to square the right hip forward any amount. Your back heel is grounded, very important. The outside edge of the back heel is grounded, and the right foot's out at about a 45-degree angle to the right. So keeping the right heel, your back heel grounded, try to rotate the right hip forward so that you're squaring the hips towards the front of your mat. Keep the back leg lengthened, and then bend the front knee any amount. From here, breathe in, reach the arms up. Let the palms face one another. Just feeling the strength of the legs. Soften your gaze. Notice if you're using extra energy in the eyes or in the face. Good. deep breath in. And exhale, release hands back to hips. We're going to step back forward to the top of the mat. If you have a wall nearby, you can use the wall to help you, pushing off the back foot and step forward. Good, breathing in, finding neutral. And exhale, step the left foot back. Ground the back heel. Circling the back heel to the floor. The back toes should be out at about a 45-degree angle. Keeping the hands on the hips. Square the left hip forward any amount, and then bend into the front knee. Good. Feeling the hips releasing down. Breathe in, extend the arms up. And let the rib cage be very buoyant here, so that the back of the ribs can float off of the lower back. The lower back stays long. Tailbone release into the earth. Good. Inhale. And exhale, hands to the hips. Use a wall if you need to, pushing all the way back up to stand. Okay, from here you're going to take your feet so that they're wide, about as wide as your hands would be if you took your arms out to the sides. The toes are going to face in the same direction to start with, and just bring your hands to your hips. And we want to have a block nearby as well, so taking the block nearby. And bend your knees and just feel the tailbone root down, heels push into the floor, and then lengthening the legs. Continue to drop the tail down. We're going to turn the right toes out to the right. And as the toes turn out to the right, feel the whole right thigh and the right hip rotate out as well. From here, breathe in, take the arms out to the side. On exhalation, we're going to move into Trikonasana, taking your right hand towards a block or your shin. So I would suggest using a block at first when you're learning this pose, taking the right hand to the block and lengthening the left arm up. I'm going to keep the full length through the spine, tailbone extending back, crown of the head moving forward. Good. Feeling width from right to left hand. Full breath in. And as you exhale, feel the right side of the rib cage spiral towards the left side so that the chest starts to face the ceiling a little bit more. Keeping the legs strong and stable. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Breathe in. Turn your gaze down. If you have a block, you can take the block with your hand as you exhale, come up. And switching the block to the other hand. Turning the right toes forward and the left toes open. Rotate from the hip joint. Taking the arms out. Breathe in. And exhale. Side bending to the left. Coming into Trikonasana. Good. Deep breath in through the nose. And full exhale. Expanding through the chest. Feeling the bottom ribs on the left side start to rotate up towards the right. Opening the chest towards the ceiling. Good. Breathe in. And on exhalation, slowly coming up. Turn the left toes back forward. Set the block down. And walk the feet together. And from here, we're going to grab our chair. We're going to take the chair to the mat. And if you're near a wall, that would be very helpful here as well. So we're going to take the left leg on the chair. And then you can take your right hand to your left leg. We're going to twist open to the left. Bring your left thumb first to your left hip crease. And then start to twist to the left, keeping the sole of the right foot and the right heel rooting down. Extend through the spine. And always feeling your twist, your deepening of your twist coming from a lengthening. If you have a wall nearby, you can plant the hand to the wall and using the wall to help you twist. Now you have a lot of leverage here if you're using the wall, because you also have the chair. So being sure that you're moving into an amount of this twist that's comfortable for you. Long, slow exhalations. The breath should be smooth and soft. And this should feel good. Good. Inhaling. And exhale, gently release. Okay, we're going to stay with this facing on the chair for a moment. You're going to step your left foot on the other side of the chair. You're just going to be on the edge of the chair, so your right leg and right sit bone are not on the chair. Taking your right leg back. You can use the chair back as stability here. You can tuck the back toes under, and then reach the right knee down towards the floor. Breathe in and take the right arm up. So opening up the front of your right leg, the psoas muscle. And full breath in. And if you don't need the left arm on the chair, you can take both arms up. And taking this nice stretch and lift of the chest. Inhale. Good. Really let the right leg be heavy, dropping the right leg for the floor. Good. And gently release. Good. Pushing yourself back up. And turning so that you're facing the chair in the other direction. Step your left foot onto the chair. Step your right foot onto the chair. And bringing your left hand to the right knee. And the right thumb's going to come back to the hip crease. So a little crevice in your hip that your thumb can dig down into. And on exhalation, twist to the right. Feeling the twist in the upper back. Keeping the tailbone lengthening to the floor. Soften your expression. Staying very present with any sensations here. If you have a wall nearby, you can plant the right hand to the wall. Deepening the twist any amount that feels comfortable for you. And feeling a soft, buoyant rib cage. And the pulsing in and out of the breath. Good. On exhalation, slowly untwist. You're going to continue facing the chair in this direction. So you'll set your right thigh on the chair. The left leg's going to be off the chair. Reach the left leg back behind you. Tuck the toes under. And breathe in. Take the left arm high. Good. Reach your left knee down for the floor. And then if you're feeling stable, right arm can reach up as well. Using the lower belly, a lift of the lower belly on your exhalation to support the spine. Great. Full breath in. Exhaling through the nose. Inhale. And exhale, release. Taking your hand to the chair. And from here, we're just going to sit on the chair. You're going to sit so that the sit bones are right on the edge of the chair. You want the chair height to be so that your crease in your hips are 90 degrees or more than that. So somewhere from 120 degrees to 90 degrees. So if you need to put a blanket on the chair so that your hips are up a little bit higher, and just taking the feet so that the feet are flat on the floor, finding the full length of your spine. So we're not using the back of the chair for our back. So this is a position that you want to think about when you're sitting, that you don't slump the lower back. You're really lifting out of the lower back. From here, taking a side bend, take a breath in, reach the left arm high. And on exhalation, take a side bend to the right. You can use the chair if you need to with the right hand. And keeping the feet grounded on the floor. Breathe in. And exhale. Nice stretch into the side of the ribs. And come all the way back through center. Switching arms, taking the right arm high, keeping the arm lengthened. And we want to make sure that the right shoulder doesn't lift up towards the ear. So the right shoulder drops down, the arm stays long, and then side bending to the left. Full breath into the right side of the rib cage. Relax through the front of your neck. Feeling your tongue relaxed, the cheeks, the eyes, the forehead relaxed. And keeping that full movement, deep belly breath. Good. Inhale, come all the way back up. And we're going to set the chair aside. And from here, have your block handy, as well as your blankets and any other support that you have for Shavasana. So we're going to carefully lie onto the back, bending the knees, take the soles of the feet to the floor. We're going to take a few small bridge poses. So extend the arms alongside the body, and you can let the eyes close here for this. Just noticing the natural curves of the spine. Take a full breath in. And then exhale, start to push the feet into the floor and let the tailbone lift off the earth. Tailbone and sacrum lift, just hovering up a couple of inches. Make sure that you're not curling and rounding the back. So we're lifting with a neutral curve. And then drop the tailbone down right from there. Breathe in, feeling the lower back gently lift off the floor. And then on exhalation, push the feet into the floor. Hover the tailbone up a couple of inches. Breathe in up at the top. And exhale, slowly lower. Good. Breathing in at the bottom. Feeling the belly expand. And the lower back off the floor. And exhale, root the heels down. And start to lift the hips. Moving whatever height is comfortable for you. Inhale here up at the top. And on exhalation, slowly lower down. Good. Next thing we're going to do is grab a block and you're going to slip it underneath the hips on the lowest height. Taking a few breaths here in supported bridge pose. And try to find a position that's comfortable for you. Coming to stillness with the body. Release any fidgets. Relax any tension that may have built up in the mind. And if this position is uncomfortable for you, you're just going to stay in constructive rest for a few more breaths, keeping your hips on the ground, concentrating on the neutral curves. Taking the breath and the nourishment into the area of the body that is feeling tight. allowing the movement of the asanas to help by improving circulation, bringing nutrients into the area of the discs, removing toxins, really releasing some of that back pain. And so if you're still up on the block, you can slip the block out from underneath you. You're going to take the knees towards the chest, widen the knees, keep the knees bent, just grab the knees with your hands and take the knees nice and wide. Breathing in. And then let's take that circle of the legs that we did at the beginning of class, taking the circle of the knees and continuing to find some fluid in the hip joint, fluid quality, moving the legs around. You can even rock back and forth a couple of times if you like to do that. Good. Take a full breath in through the nose and let's exhale out through the mouth. And from here, we're going to set up for Shavasana. So you're going to take a blanket or two or a pillow. You're going to take that underneath your legs. And you can use as much height underneath your legs as you like. We're also going to take a small lift for our head. So bringing the blanket, the lift underneath your thighs, slowly lowering down. Taking a small lift underneath your head to support the neck and releasing the arms to the side. If you'd like extra grounding support to really get restful in this Shavasana, you can take a blanket and place it over your hips to help ground you. And let the eyes close. Just feel the luxury that it is to be lying here on the floor. Taking a moment to notice what is most present here at the end of the practice. Allowing yourself to feel the state of mind that you're in, the state that your body is in. Try not to block out what you're feeling. Likely it will grow stronger if you're trying to cover it up with something else. So starting right here, starting right where you are. Noticing as the mind starts to quiet, brain relaxes. Just watch your sensations. Allow your breath to relax, come to its natural rhythm. Feeling like you are creating a safe container for whatever it is that you're feeling. And no need to get caught up in any sort of story about how you're feeling or an emotion of how you're feeling. Instead, just staying with the body and the breath. Allowing yourself to find gratitude for your body here, a sense of acceptance and welcoming to whatever challenges you may be feeling right now. And if you're feeling any painful sensations, just ask yourself, what state of mind or state of body would heal what it is that I'm feeling right now? You may not really think you know the answer, but just see what comes to mind. It may be comfort, it may be acceptance or forgiveness, it may be a healing warmth, courage. And so whatever it is that you choose, it could be an image or a word. Just see if you can focus on that as you continue to breathe, rest, releasing the body into the support of the floor. Relaxing the shoulders, letting the shoulders melt into the earth. Let go of any tension you feel you're holding in your hands or your feet. And then really letting go, dropping down. Continue resting here. Feeling the blood flowing from the heart down the long limbs, all the way to your tips, to the edges, and then cycling back up to the heart. Keeping the body very still, see if you can find your pulse. You might feel your pulse moving in your palms or in your belly. Just feeling that sense of life. Letting that be a comfort to you. And then when you're ready, start to wiggle the fingers and the toes around, feeling a sense of ease in this movement. Good. Full breath in. And you can exhale out through the mouth. And building up enough energy here. Keep moving with a sense of ease. Start to fold and crease at the rest of the joints. Carefully bringing the feet a little closer towards you. And then rolling to your right side. Curling up on the right side. Just keeping the head heavy. And then when you're ready, you can push the hands into the floor. And slowly come all the way up to a comfortable seat. If you're sitting cross-legged, you may want to take a blanket underneath the hips so that you keep the lower back lengthened. The eyes can stay closed. Bring the palms together. Taking a moment to find gratitude for your physical body. For challenges it brings you, accepting where you're at today. May all beings find happiness and the causes of happiness. May all beings be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be parted from freedom's true joy. May all beings dwell in equanimity, free of attachment and aversion. And take a deep breath in. Lift the thumbs up towards the third eye, right between the eyebrows. And exhale, release the chin down towards the heart, relaxing the brain. Namaste.
Are you enjoying this podcast? I've chosen to offer these audio recordings freely for over 15 years. I do this because research shows yoga, yoga nidra, and Feldenkrais to be valuable practices, those which I would like to share widely. Dana, the Buddhist practice of generosity, has always been a pillar of my business. And more generally, Dana is the inclination to give without expecting any form of repayment. It does, however, take a fair amount of time, effort, and cost to maintain and keep the podcasts available. If you feel you've benefited from what you've learned from these classes, then please do consider making a contribution towards the maintenance and upkeep of the classes. It will help ensure that I can continue to offer the podcast classes freely and keep generating new material. Give what you can, give what feels good. If it's too little, it won't feel good. If it's too much, it won't feel good. Links to support the show monetarily can be found in the show notes. And other ways to give include sharing the podcast with others, leaving a 5-star rating and review, or just sending me an email with how the classes have affected you. Thanks so much.